the waifu, an important integral part of the jrpg genre. In fact, many these days would say that they have become the main reason that many so-called weebs play the genre. Of course, I don't agree with this assessment, but the proliferation of dating sim and fan service aspects within the genre are undeniable. Well, friends, we aren't here to dwell on those most egregious examples of cartoon perversions. No, no, no. We are here to talk about the honorable ladies of the most esteemed name in all of the JRPG kingdom. That's right. We are talking about the ladies of Final Fantasy. I present to you the top 5 waifus of the Final Fantasy series. Please enjoy.
Yuna, Final Fantasy X. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you I've never been a huge fan of Yuna. I mean, she is fine and all, don't get me wrong, but I don't think she's my type. I personally probably would have put Ash from Final Fantasy XII on this list for the sole reason that she is fine as, well, you know. But this ain't just about which virtual hottie I personally would want to Netflix and chill with, is it? Yuna is on this list because all of you, not me. Yuna is co-protagonist for arguably the most romantic Final Fantasy, and for that reason alone, she must be on this list. Yuna's love story with Titus gave us some of the mushiest moments we'd ever seen in a Final Fantasy game, complete with awkward voice acting and weird PS2 facial expressions. Some of the scenes from this game get a lot of heat. Who can forget the laughing scene? For good reason. I love it. But let's give credit where credit is due. For the time, this was a very ambitious title. It still holds up pretty well today. But let's get to some of the reasons why Yuna is cool. First, Yuna is a summoner, and a summoner is a cool class. And it's rad to have the leading lady of a Final Fantasy be a summoner. She gets to summon huge monster baddies to fight alongside of her. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Second, she sits at the center of basically the whole game. Titus is basically the player's avatar. We are seeing the game more as an observer of Yuna's journey. We're sorta just along for the ride. Titus says it's his story. Nah bro, it's Yuna's story. Third, she got her own game afterwards, which before the Final Fantasy XIII lightning shenanigans, no other female Final Fantasy character could claim. Now, what are some of the reasons she's not higher on the list? First of all, she comes off as kinda needy. Let's face it, she needs other people to protect her. Also, she just has these vibes, bro. I can't put my finger on it. I just feel like she would have dogged Titus if they stayed together. What'd they know each other for? Like a couple weeks? That was just puppy love. It's easy to act like someone is the love of your life when they die before you learn to hate them, which I'm sure Yuna would have eventually done. In a way, it's good that Titus died before it got bad. Now we can all just remember their sweet love story, not the depressing breakup and messy divorce. Number 4. Rinoa, Final Fantasy VIII. Rinoa's hot, bro. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I just have visions of the way she looks in the Final Fantasy VIII intro cutscene. That opening is bad, but oh man, it was love at first sight. So why else is Rinoa on this list? A variety of reasons. Rinoa is like that hot girl in school who's dating the cocky jock that everyone hates, but somehow deep down you know she really has a crush on you but won't admit it to herself because she's afraid of how everyone in her friend group will react when they find out she's got the hots for a loser. This game, the loser, is played by Squall. But Squall's not really a loser, he's just like the hot silent outcast dude that we like to pretend we are. Plus, he has a gun sword. I ain't never had a gun sword. So, what else? Rinoa has a limit break where she shoots her dog at monsters. That's pretty cool. And later in the game, when limit breaks become basically the only way to beat stuff, Angel Wing turns out to be a pretty strong option if you know how to cheese the system. Plus, she and Squall have this really cute Dawson's Creek WB teen romance going on throughout. It's like more angsty and real than Titus and Yuna's relationship. Who can forget the moment where her and Squall are like floating in space together and stuff while that Eyes on Me song plays? I know I can't. Some real genuine moments there. I replayed this segment for this video and thought the dialogue between was really well done. I had some feels there for a minute. So why isn't Rinoa number 1? Well, the girl did date Cypher, so maybe she doesn't have the best taste. I mean, I know people change and all, but if I were Squall, it's probably something I would have a hard time forgetting. But overall, she's hot, I like her dog, she's cool. Top 3 are just better, brah. Number 3. Terra, Final Fantasy VI. Listen, all you youngins who started playing Final Fantasy after Final Fantasy VII and beyond missed out on some real hotties. One of them was Terra, or Tina as properly translated, from Final Fantasy VI. So why is Terra hot? Well, first of all, she's on the main cover riding a huge mech. That alone is worth a good deal. Terra is like the weird psychic chick that is also super cute, but you're worried she could freak out and go all Carrie prom scene on you. In fact, she kinda does at one point, but behind this scary side is a true unicorn. Her monster form even looks like a unicorn, for God's sake. Terra kinda embodies everything we wish all women were. She is vulnerable and meek, shy and well-mannered. She seems sweet and approachable, like a girl who would be afraid to reject the creepy nerd who asked her out on a date. She'd probably go out of guilt, you know? She has a caring, nurturing side. Who can forget that you find her in the world of Rune living a quiet life caring for an orphanage? A true nurturer, who also shows she can go into mama bear mode when her babies are threatened. Look how she sprung into action to save the orphanage from the demon Fumbaba. So why isn't Terra higher on the list? Well, I think that may be a product of the strength of our top 2 canons, to be honest. Plus, Terra is from the Super Nintendo era. Her little sprite doesn't look that hot, honestly. But really, she is from an era where characters didn't receive nearly as much dialogue or characterization. We just didn't get enough Terra in the game to get a full sense of who she is. In a way, we kind of have to fill in the blanks, for better or worse. Until we get a more dense, realistic Final Fantasy VI remake, this might sadly be the case. For this reason, she must stay at number 3. Number 2. Aerith, Final Fantasy VII. In a stunning decision, our main girl Aerith is not number 1 on this list. She was almost number 1, but at the last minute, I had to go with my gut and put someone else there. Before we get into why she is not number 1, let's talk about why she is a beloved waifu in the Final Fantasy fandom. Aerith is like the perfect high school sweetheart that every guy is told he will date. She's the type of girl you get married to and have 4 kids. She's a great mom, and she's head of the PTO. She makes the best cookies in town and everyone tells you how lucky you are to have her. That's who Aerith is. Plus, she's fun and silly. You know, she probably laughs at dirty jokes, but is still very feminine and demure. Another one of them unicorns, quite literally. Aerith is literally the last of her kind. This adds to her mysterious yet desirable nature. She has this deep connection to the planet and the life stream. She is more than a woman. She is almost messianic. And although this is great and totally worth admiring, I feel this is also why she can't be number 1. Aerith is not ours, or Cloud's for that matter. She's the planet's. Or Zack's if you really want to be technical. In fact, one could surmise she only falls for Cloud because Cloud is mimicking Zack's personality. Maybe she's just pretending Cloud is Zack the whole time. That's not very nice. Basically, Aerith is beloved because of her tragic fate, and the loss of what could have been. It's like your ex-girlfriend that you still think about. It's that what-if feeling, that regret you feel for losing a possible future with someone. That's what Aerith embodies. And though I love me some melancholy sadness, she cannot be number 1 because... Number 1. Tifa, Final Fantasy VII. Tifa is the best Final Fantasy waifu. Hear me out. While Aerith represents what could have been, Tifa represents what really is. She is a real woman, a tough woman who has been beaten down by a hard life in the slums. A woman who can stand up for herself, but at times can be vulnerable and insecure. You can tell she has a kind heart, you know? Just look at the way she helps Barrett take care of Marlene. She's just someone you want in your corner. Tifa is the kind of woman you actually want to marry, not the unicorn you think your high school sweetheart was. Let's look at the facts as they were in Final Fantasy VII. Who has Cloud's back and always had his back? Tifa. Although she recognized the inconsistencies in Cloud's story when they reunite in Midgar, she keeps it to herself, as she can clearly see something is off with him and knows to protect his fragile psyche. Cloud is struggling to find himself in the lifestream. Who is there with him by his side? Tifa. Who is the one that Cloud made his promise to when they were kids? Tifa. Tifa is the true love interest of the game.
Fight me, bro.
Aerith is really just looking for her Zack 2.0. She's an alpha widow, bro. She don't love Cloud for Cloud. She barely knows him. Now don't get me wrong, I love Aerith, but Tifa is a real woman here. Plus, Tifa is a real badass in battle. Sure, she's not one of the strongest characters, but I always try to use her throughout. In the original Final Fantasy VII, you never even get to see Aerith's true battle potential. She's only in half the game. You can max Tifa out and watch her suplex stuff though. I think my decision to put Tifa at the top of this list was further solidified by her great portrayal in the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I love Britt Baron's performance, and you can really feel Tifa's sadness and strength in many of the scenes. Yeah, so Tifa's number 1. I rest my case. So there you have it. The top 5 Final Fantasy waifus. The ladies on this list are truly magnificent. The Final Fantasy series is truly home to some great characters. I love it! In the end, Final Fantasy VII ends up with 2 waifus in the top 2 spots, and we wonder why it's the most popular Final Fantasy. Coincidence? I think not. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is the Briz signing off, and just a reminder, if you're not subscribed and like this video, please hit the subscribe button, and also hit the like button. I really need your support. See you next time, everybody!